table, and even when you don't feel like going to work. Amen? That's focus. You get a hold of yourself and you focus on what is important. Not saying that you're not important. Maybe there's something going on in your life where we have to plan and manage our time better. Amen.
Amen.
But there's a promise that has not come to pass yet. A goal that we have yet to reach. And for this, we must maintain focus. A vision, a purpose for which maintaining focus is critical to us reaching that place of destiny and fulfillment. Remember, we shared last week, maintaining focus is not an accident. It's intentional.
Yes.
Success is not an accident. Don't ever let anybody fool you. Success is not an accident.
Amen.
Opportunities are for prepared people. Oh, that's good.
Amen.
Opportunities are for prepared people. You cannot take advantage of an opportunity unless you are prepared for it.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
For the moment our vision becomes distorted, blurred, or out of focus, we are poised to get off track and make decisions that jeopardize and delay us in getting to the place that God desires to take us. All it takes is for one distraction to get us off course.
Amen.
Amen? And then you start saying, like Eve, did God really say that? Huh? We start saying, well, it might not be that bad. I'll do it this time, or I'll deviate. All it takes, and then you're off track. Off track. Vision distorted, blurred, out of focus. For this, the children of Israel, they could have made it into the promised land in 2 weeks. How many years did it take them? Come on, how many years did it take them?
40.
40 years. Because they lost focus. Fell into unbelief. Forgot about what God had already done for them. Started complaining. Started worshiping other gods. Provoked God. I mean, you got to do some stuff to provoke God. They provoked God, the word says, for 40 years. They provoked him to anger. They provoked him to wrath, to the point where it's like we say, I'll knock you out and make another one. Isn't that what he said?
Yes.
He said, Moses, step back because I'm going to kill them. And I'll raise up another people.
They was colored.
They provoked him.
Yes.
With their unbelief and with their complaining. So our first point in maintain focus, as we stated last week, is that maintaining focus is not an accident. It is intentional. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 19. Corinthians, I'm sorry. Not 19, that's the first I want you to go to. It is 1 Corinthians 9, I'm sorry, and verse 19. I'm going to read it in the Good News translation. 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19. Reads, I am a free man, nobody's slave. But I make myself everybody's slave in order to win as many people as possible. While working with the Jews, I live like a Jew in order to win them. And even though I myself am not subject to the law of Moses, I live as though I were when working with those who are, in order to do what? To win them. In the same way, when working with Gentiles, I live like a Gentile outside the Jewish law in order to win Gentiles. This does not mean that I don't obey God's law. I am really under Christ's law. Among the weak in faith, I become weak like one of them in order to what? To win them. So I become all things to all people that I may save some of them by whatever means are possible. And listen to what he says. All this I do for the gospel's sake, in order to share in its blessings. Surely you know that many runners take part in a race, but only one of them wins the prize. Run then in such a way as to win the prize. Run in what kind of way?
In such a way.
To win the prize. So he says, every athlete in training submits to strict discipline. Maintaining focus requires discipline, requires temperance. You need a strategy. You need a goal. You're not going to maintain focus and you don't condition yourself. That you don't keep a strategy before you, a goal that you can measure your success and know when you win. Oh, come on.
Amen.
In order to be crowned with a wreath that will not last. He said they do all of this for a wreath that's going to fade away. But we do it for one that will last forever.
Yes.
That is why I run straight for the finish line. You see that? Focus. All Paul is seeing, he said, all I see is the finish line.
All right.
Oh, you ought to see that.
Oh, yes.
All I see is the finish line. He said, I run straight for the finish line. I don't make any detours. I got my focus on winning.
Yes.
Winning souls for Christ. And my strategy is to reach the Jews, I act like the Jews. To reach the Gentiles, I act like the Gentiles. Because I am under Christ's law. And what is Christ's law? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever, not just a Jew, not just a Gentile, whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. He said, my goal, my focus is on Jesus. My goal, my focus is on getting this gospel out to every creature. My goal, my focus is not losing, but winning.
Yes.
Come on. Many of us prophesy defeat before we ever get started.
Amen.
Before we get started, it's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. Huh? We prophesy defeat before we ever get started. He said, Paul said, not me. He said, I focus on that finish line.
Yes.
Then he says, that is why I run straight for the finish line. He said, that is why I am like a boxer who does not waste his punches. My God. When you focus, you don't waste your time.
Yes.
When you're focused, you're not shadow boxing.
That's right.
When you shadow box, you leaving yourself open to be knocked out. Oh, come on, tonight. When you shadow, who wants to get in a ring with somebody that's prepared to knock you out and you have not even trained?
Amen.
Wait a minute. You dancing in the corner, ain't done nothing. He over there saying, just step right out in the middle. Huh? Step right out in the middle. And you over there doing this. Every good boxer, and I am not going to try to stand here and tell you I follow scripture.